Bert Macor from William Grant & Sons is visiting us all the way from Scotland tonight to enjoy the Evan Williams vintage unveiling.
And experience.
And you've only been in Kentucky for 3 hours.
Yep.
Your thoughts so far?
Amazing. I love the people. I love their hospitality. I love their openness, kindness. And I think we can learn something from you here in Scotland. Yeah.
And there have been similarities drawn between Scotland and Kentucky that I've heard from other people, actually, interestingly enough.
Of course, we have a tradition in making malt whiskies, and we try to do it in a very traditional, in a very quality, and a very consistent way. And that's what we're looking for, as well you, as well here. And what I notice, there are a lot of similarities, of course, between the two countries, but there is also a lot of difference. I think you have brought your whiskies already into the 21st century. We have to do that. So we can learn something from you. Maybe you can learn something from us.
Now, for people who are not familiar with the name William Grant & Son, you have several names that people are familiar with.
Oh, yeah. Of course, the most famous name that we can represent is the Glenfiddich. Okay, nowadays we like to call ourselves the best awarded whiskey in the world, but hey, we are the best, and we are the biggest single malt producer in the world. The Balvenie, one of the most traditional, one of the most craftsmanship distilleries in the world. Hendrick gin, Sailor Jerry, and that's it. We are trying to bring in our portfolio the best, most traditional, and the most quality products of the world. Yeah.
And these are great quality products, and you make sure that a lot of people get to have great experiences there.
Yeah. Every year we have to look for at least 75,000 people in the world, coming from all over the world. So we are there to make sure that they have the best experience, the most in-depth experience in the world. They can see how we are making the product, how we are treasuring the product, how we are looking after the product, and that's what we want to show to the world.
What did you think of the 2000 vintage? What are your thoughts?
I love it. I love his in-depth, I love his character, I love his slightly peatness with, of course, this beautiful, beautiful vanilla flavored, in-depth aroma. I love the whole spectrum of it. Not only the aroma, but I love also the flavor spectrum of it. And I think that's one of the main things about American whiskies. It's so wide, it's so broad, it's so in-depth. Yeah, great. You're doing a good job here.
Thank you. You're doing a great job there. I love what you all do. And now there's some whiskeys, there's some Scotch whiskeys that are aged in used bourbon barrels, right? Yep. From what I know. Are any of yours? Or
yeah.
Tell me about that.
At Glenfiddich and the Balvenie, we try to look for the best quality of barrels. So we are looking for the best quality of ex-sherry barrels, and we are looking for the best quality of ex-bourbon barrels. One of the reasons that I'm here is to visit Glenfiddich. Glenfiddich is our supplier for great quality bourbon barrels. So I experience in the flesh what we get from here in Scotland. And every Glenfiddich that leaves the building, every Balvenie that leaves the building is a beautiful balanced mix of ex-sherry and ex-bourbon, and ex-bourbon plays a very, very big role in our flavor and aroma spectrum, in our flavor and aroma enjoyment. We are using our friends of Heaven Hill, of course, and the sherry ones are, we have a syndicate. They are looking for the best quality of cask they can get, because that's the problem that we have in the industry on this moment. We have to pay £75 for a very, very, very good American cask. We have to pay £550 for a very, very good ex-sherry cask.
You have to pay £55 for a very good used American bourbon barrel that's used anywhere from 10, 12 years. But for a very good sherry, you pay 550 pounds, which is about $1,000. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Now, but you do use some Heaven Hill bourbon barrels for the Glenfiddich, for the Balvenie. Why are those selected for those products to age in?
The quality, that's what's seasoning the wood. The quality of Heaven Hill is seasoning our wood. It's giving a certain flavor pattern to our whiskies. And that's what we're looking for. We are looking for the best. So from Heaven Hill we get the best. We know that people like Parker and Greg are looking for the best quality, and that's the same thing we are looking for. They are independent, we are independent. Let's share our knowledge together.
So what we're learning here is, even after some of these single barrel vintage bourbons are done with the bourbon, aging the bourbon in Kentucky, they go on to Scotland. Right? And that is just amazing to think it makes one beverage so delicious, and then it goes on to make yours.
And then it makes our beverage even more delicious.
Amazing. And let me ask you this, because I'm curious. Before bourbon was invented, how was Scotch aged? I mean, what kind of, if they weren't using bourbon barrels, what were you all using hundreds of years ago?
One of the main reasons that we are maturing whiskies, that we are maturing a spirit coming from Scotland in oak, is purely because the French and the brandy people over there were already doing this. So we more or less copy their influence. So we brought it from France to Scotland. Over the years, sherry was easy for us to pick up because the bottling of a sherry took place in the harbours of Leith and Newcastle. The first problem for us in Scotland came when there was the Civil War in Spain. The Civil War in Spain meant for the Scottish industry there was no trade for several years. We had to look for a replacement, and this replacement was coming from America, because here in America it was already shown that you were doing a great thing with your white American oak. For you it became even better in the mid-80s, because in the mid-80s the Spanish government decided, hey, the bottling of sherry shouldn't take place out of Jerez de la Frontera, but only in that small part south of Spain. Before that, sherry casks were like Coca-Cola tins everywhere. They were easy for us to pick up. But after the 80s, we had to look for the best qualities, and the best qualities had to come from Spain. So from that moment on, we looked for an easy way to pick up this cask, this quality of cask. And we found it in America, because your coopers, your union of coopers are so strong. They were releasing a law that after the first maturity period, you had to look for another cask. You're only allowed to use the cask only once here in America. For us, that was a very good thing. We could pick it up very easy, because now we were able to pick this quality of cask, seasoned by this quality of whiskey, and we brought it to Scotland. And we believe in cheap things in Scotland.
You believe in cheap things in Scotland?
Yeah.
And you can get this barrel for 55 pounds, which is about $100.
Hey, when I started in 1982, it was £7.
£7?
Today, today it is 55 pounds, because not only we discovered your quality, the rum industry, the tequila industry, the wine industry, they all discovered the quality of white American oak. What we're looking for is the vanilla. What we're looking for is the caramelized toffee flavors, and what we're looking for is the sweet flavors. And that's what we get from your beautiful white American oak.
And you were the first to discover it. Around the time, because tequila and rum are both also aged in bourbon barrels.
But the whiskey industry was the first to discover it.
Which is amazing, what it goes on to do for you. And I'm just so, I'm so honored to be talking with you about this. I think you have some great products. It's great to have you in Kentucky. What else are you going to do while you're in Kentucky?
Only enjoy the quality of your whiskeys you're producing here.
That's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah. It is not only, of course, what you produce over here, but it's also, from my background, I'm looking after my visitors in Glenfiddich, and I hope to look and learn something how you look after your visitors here in Kentucky.